MD 2020. Well, if it isn't Friday, XRP Friday, it's also Cinco de Mayo. How you guys doing today? Welcome back to Sin City Crypto Live. My name is David. I'll be one of your plenty of co-hosts today. And today, like every single day, we're coming at you live from our beautiful studio here in, it should be pool season, but it's not, Las Vegas, Nevada. We have an exciting show for you guys. We have an XRP special show in honor of XRP Las Vegas 2023. We have some XRP experts in-house that are going to share some information. And of course, we couldn't go a show without talking about the hottest meme coin out there, Pepe the Frog. We heard frog prices are going up at Petco. But first, let's introduce you to your first co-host, Robin.
It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we're an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take the old, boring, and stale information and repackage it up in a fun and sexy way. I would like to start off by saying Bitcoin is almost at 30,000, but who cares? Because Pepe is straight mooning, baby. Woo! Can I get some bullhorn sounds, Rocco?
Pepe Le Pew. Pepe Le went pew pew to everything else in the crypto industry.
Are you a millionaire yet, David?
Am I what?
Are you a millionaire yet? Yeah.
I only threw $100 at it, whatever.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's like, you know, when it starts 8xing, like, I wish I would have put more. And then when you lose it all, I'm like, man, I wish I would have put less. But anyways, before we get into any content, let's introduce you to our special guest in-house. Let's first start with the lovely Jenna XRP Jenna. Jenna?
You know I changed my name, and I did it just to throw you off.
What'd you do?
Yeah, it's Jenna X now.
Jenna
Guys,
X.
Who are you and
My
what'd you
bad.
do with XRP Jenna?
Where is XRP Jenna?
Yeah, no, I killed her.
That's messed up, bro.
No, I know, right?
Jenna,
Guys,
thank you so much for
thank
joining
you.
us. How are you feeling today?
I feel amazing because we have the conference going on. I get to be here hanging out with all of you awesome people and meeting all new friends. So super awesome. I just wish we could see a little bit more XRP pump. You know, when it gets above 47 cents, I'll really be celebrating.
You know, I got a chart on XRP. You're going to show we might see a pump. Jenna, for those that maybe don't know who you are, what kind of content you do, can you maybe give us a 2-minute spiel?
Okay, a 2-minute spiel. Wow, usually I only get 1 minute. Thanks.
Well, you get 2 because you're sitting next to me.
Yeah, so I'm actually super involved in the XRP community. I started out doing XRPL projects like interviews and everything like that. And now I want to focus more on educational content. And I just literally love,
You're good. Go ahead, you're good.
and I just love to be able to meet everyone in the space and find out what new projects are out there and everything and just keep on creating content. So that is what I do.
Awesome. We're excited to have you. And next, we have a trio on the couch. We're going to first start with our friend Gonzo. Gonzo, how are you doing, my friend? Hold on, but you're here for XRP, but aren't you the ETH guy? Hmm. Rocco, will you change it to, will you put master on that, the audio's not going to the stream. No. Producer Mike,
It's muted. It's muted, Rocco.
You're good.
Are we muted? You good now?
What he was saying is he thinks XRP is going to 0. That's what he said.
Yeah, that's
right?
not what I said. I said it's not 100% that they're going to win the lawsuit, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're pretty sure that they're going to win the lawsuit, but like you got to diversify, right? You don't put all of your money into XRP because what happens if something? It's the government, right? What happens if they lose, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, usually you guys love to call me the ETH Maxi, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty diversified.
We didn't. Hey, your partner called you the ETH Maxi.
He did.
First thing he said to me when I was onboarding on your show, it was Gonzo's the ETH Maxi here. So,
That's right.
we're excited to have you, man. Thank you so much. Next up in the center, we have Jake. Looks like he just got back from the gym. You trying to make us look bad here, bro? What's going on here, man?
No, bro. So I was a bodybuilder for about a decade before.
Okay. Jake, do you mind telling maybe our audience a little bit about yourself and kind of your journey in the space?
I got 20, made good money then. Now I'm a director of a digital family office. Specialize in digital asset liquidity events. I'm People make over $20 million in crypto. We provide all the professionals they need for their wealth management and estate planning.
Ooh.
So you make a lot of money in Pepe. Holler at me. There you go.
I know. No,
Which is on Ethereum.
Which is on Ethereum. Yeah. Thanks for that, Gonzo.
Hey, a lot of my clients are BTC and ETH. So
Makes sense. And then next we have Max Avery.
Here,
Max, thank
we're
you so
sharing-
much for joining us.
Yeah, we're sharing this teeny tiny microphone.
I know.
This is
like
I hope,
that's the
yeah, sorry if this sounds crazy.
It's okay.
So-
Look, we're gonna take our Pepe profits and we're gonna buy a whole office like Ben did.
There you
in,
go.
Bit
No,
More
it's funny.
Crypto.
we'll get one with a big box around it as
Yeah.
a logo. Now I'm from Fort Smith, Arkansas. I came in here yesterday. Jake and I have a few projects we work on together. I am the vice chair of the Arkansas District Export Council, and I also sit on the Arkansas Blockchain Council. So try to get involved with government regulation stuff. At least provide the education to the regulators and state legislators to do stuff on both ends of that, and expand international business there. So appreciate you having me here, and I'll just kind of hang back and provide colorful commentary. So.
Cool, man. We appreciate it, and we appreciate all of you being here. Jenna, what were you gonna say?
You forgot to tell him you're the most interesting Max on the internet.
Are you?
Yeah.
he is.
It's like his
We'll
thing.
find out.
Do we have proof of reserves there? We need to see the proof.
We need a consensus here.
That's
We
on the
need a
dark web,
consensus, yeah.
so we can't.
It's on the internet. It must be true.
Check Dread forums when you log off, and you'll be fine.
Dreadful. Just Google it. Yeah. All right. We like to start off our show with some giggles here. And so I figured we'd do some extra giggles because we have a special guest here. So we're going to take a trip overseas across the pond to the UK. And first thing we're going to see is this is how they do their swimming events in the UK. Rocco, will you cue my laptop, please? So this is how all British people apparently swim in the UK.
Stop it. Stop it.
I didn't post it. I'm just sharing it. Not sure why the
That is
music is
skill.
there,
I was
but
gonna say, that doesn't seem UK.
it's extremely impressive, and I've dealt with a lot of British people in my life, and they love their tea. We know that for a fact. But I didn't realize they love their tea enough to take it into the water with them when they go swimming.
Well, if you're trying to transport it from across the English Channel, there's a
One way to do it.
Yeah. If you have children watching the show, I would put their faces away from this next part because this is what we have. This is also in England. Someone mowed a giant
Stop
ding dong
it.
into
Stop
the
it.
lawn at King Charles.
What does this have to do with crypto?
This is the King of England, and they were making a shamakri out of him.
His coronation's tomorrow. Is that right?
That's what I'm saying. This
is relevant.
for his color.
Did that.
Yeah, it's
That's your next meme coin.
bad news.
It looks like the Pepe chart.
Pepe,
Pepe chart.
Pepe, not this way.
You say the PP chart? I don't think that's geographically correct, though. And
Someone go mint that now, and I'll buy in.
ICO tomorrow.
this is definitely not geographically correct because I'm pretty sure in England they still wear the coats. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Getting a little weird here. Okay. Let's move on.
The red coats are coming. The red coats are coming.
The red coats are coming. Yeah.
Oh, God.
All right, guys, we're done for today. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. Thank you. Thank you.
Don't unsubscribe. Okay,
Go to the
so
other room.
Remember, okay, so before we started this show,
okay.
me and David had a little conversation. He was like, should I show this? I was like, probably not. And now you see why.
Yeah.
Your boy got no filter.
Yeah, okay.
Never.
Good job, Rocco. Robert.
Sin City. We're Sin City crypto. Okay.
We're exactly. We're in the city of sin, and what's a day without committing sin? Now, in honor of meme coins, I'd like to share a small clip video for you. Rocco, will you? Please. So we have this, and I'm pretty sure everyone in here and everyone watching has seen Stranger Things. I mean, where have you been if you have not? And so this is from NFT Hawks. When you shield your friend a meme coin, that rugs, and now he cannot feed his family. And this is what that looks like. Look at the dog. Oh, man. Okay, on a serious note, though, being in the space and, people call it, I don't like the term influencer. I prefer content creator because I feel like I shouldn't influence anyone's decision. What they do, that should be your decision. I just want to provide information. But what are your thoughts on, if you do come across a project or a coin, it's like you're stuck in this conundrum of, well, if I don't say anything and it blows up, my friends are going to be like, hey, why don't you tell me if I do say something and it blows up, going the other way, then I'm like, what the hell did you get me into? What's your stance? Like when you come across a big project or some insider, do you share that with your friends and family? Do you get them to invest? Where do you stand on that? I'll start with you first, Jenna.
I buy it and then I tell Twitter.
Okay, so no text messages, no FaceTimes,
No,
no personal phone call. Okay,
no,
so
they just need to watch my
See,
Twitter feed.
David just gets irritated. When I buy something and I don't tell him. He's like, "You didn't tell me," and I'm like, "I don't need to run everything
He's like,
by you, bro."
yeah, like 2 days later, it's like about Filecoin at $4, sold it at $8. I'm like, well, thanks for letting me know, Rob.
That's right.
The three gentlemen on the couch. Anyone could go first. What? Same question to you. What? Do you have a protocol in place? Do you like sharing your let's call them plays, your investments, or are you kind of like,
Well, I'm lucky because like I'm on a kind of big team, right? And so we usually kind of get on the text thread and we start talking about it. Although Johnny Crypto the other day when Miria came out, I had kind of started doing research on it and I sent a text out and he's like, "Oh yeah, we're buying nodes tonight." And yeah, I'm buying it. I'm like, "Oh, thanks for letting me know." I'm always posting my charts and sharing my info, and Johnny kind of dogged me on that one. So I love
Johnny
you,
and
Johnny.
Robin are alike then?
Yeah. So, but I don't share with like family and stuff like that because they just look at me sideways and stuff.
Same.
So if people want to come up to me and ask me questions, I'll always answer their questions and stuff. But usually it just stays within the team.
Okay. What about you, Jake?
I encourage people to do research on things. So I don't say you should buy something if I think something's interesting or that it may, have good price appreciation or ROI, then I'm going to share it. But I'm just going to say, hey, look, this is something I'm looking into. Might be something that's worth you looking into, but I do not. That's never investment advice, right?
Right.
So,
But I feel like no matter how many times you say that, people just seem to forget it when they lose money. When they make money, they never say anything. They don't complain. When it turns out they lose money, it's like, "Oh, you told me to invest in it." It's like, no, I didn't. I just said, "Hey, there's this project. Just look at it."
Just send a link that says, "Man, this is crazy, LOL," and just like let them interpret what that means. Like stop responding at that point.
Start doing that.
crazy up, crazy down.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Man, this is crazy. ...
Yeah.
Now,
Log
I would
out.
ask Robin, but we know his answer. He doesn't tell anyone, not even his business partner. So let's go ahead and.
Ding!
Rob, you got anything to add to this for everyone?
I can.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I bought a token last night. I'll tell you tomorrow.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It's very kind of you.
Yeah.
Now, guys, we have this from Edward Farina. This is on Twitter. So you've all seen The Wolf of Wall Street. Well, here is The Rat of Wall Street, starring No Clarity Gary. But I do have some potential good news, guys. Seems like Gary's found someone else to mess with, and that is the regional banks. As the SEC is launching an investigation into First Republic and their executives for insider trading. Now, this has been a hot button topic lately. So we have people like Elizabeth Warren and Nancy Pelosi, of all people, tweeting about insider trading, which her husband, I believe, is ranked #1 in the world. But
Just ask the experts.
yeah, exactly. Ask the experts. I don't know. Do you think? I mean, I'm not saying the banking crisis is good. People losing money. The government has to print money. We're going to see hyperinflation possibly. But do you see a scenario where this whole banking thing happens and maybe Gary's attention gets shifted away from crypto? Do you have Robin? Do you have any? You feel confident in that, or?
I mean, well, it is his job to regulate publicly traded companies. These banks, the ones that have went under, have been publicly traded, and so if there's insider trading, people are dumping. I know it's crazy because we only get used to him regulating crypto lately, and that's been the headlines. But I mean, he's got other jobs to fill, and regulating the traditional stock market is one of them, believe it or not. So,
Wow. Does he know that?
I think so.
All right. I want to. So today is well, not today. Tomorrow is the official XRP Las Vegas 2023. So we want to share some content from Twitter, from some people on Twitter who are coming or already here. So the first thing we're going to share is this from Ben Armstrong, aka Bippo Crypto. Looking forward to seeing the XRP Army in full force in Las Vegas at the event. But he goes on to say, "I won't make it because my daughter has her state tennis championship final this weekend. So good luck to her. Good luck." Then we have this. This is Bob Way in XRP production at X Spectre Agent 9. So someone else told me about XRP Productions. I think it was Redman.
Hey, guys, did you know that Bob White was actually one of the original architects of the XRPL? I had no idea with
For real? Is
David
he on the left
Swartz
or the right?
and
Okay.
Arthur Brito.
Is this the one on the left, Bob Way?
He's got the ripple shirt.
Yeah.
on.
the ripple shirt.
Oh, okay.
That was so
Interesting.
crazy. And
did
I
not
got to
know
meet
that.
him. Super awesome gentleman.
So now, guys, this event, it's not an official Ripple or XRP event, correct? Like no one from Ripple is going to be there. It's mainly like a community event, right? Okay. And this is the first one. What significance does this one have? And what do you think? Why is it important to have things like this? And why is it important for the community? And any of you can take the floor.
I've loved it so far. So there's a large community that's on Twitter and other social media platforms, and you see these people like Jenna. This is the first time I'm meeting her in person. We've had multiple conversations. We've done other interviews together, but it's fantastic to actually meet people in person and see them face to face and have a real interaction. Because they seem like, I don't know, like characters.
Right.
Otherwise, right? So it's been really cool. I'm excited that Brad Kimes and his team have put this together, and I think it's going to be great for the community. And he told me that they will be doing it on this day every single year moving forward as well.
On this day, as in May 5th?
May 6th.
May 6th, okay.
Yeah, I think it was really good too because we needed something to like lift everyone's spirits. And I know everyone was like, oh, when XRP moons, we're going to have this big party and whatever. But it's so nice to see it, still in the shitter. It's not nice to see in the shitter, but it's nice to see us coming together while it's in the shitter. If that makes sense. So I love our community and it's really dope. And it's so cool that we get to be part of the first one.
They say a community that shits together sticks together. Why is it every time we have guests this last time we had Mind Your Biz and Crypto Keeper on, they just took off their shirts. Today we're talking about penises and shits. It's Sin City, yeah.
Right, well,
It definitely won't be taking off my shirt.
all right.
I'll be at
All right.
Crazy Horse 3 later,
All right.
making
All right.
my money back. So
Check the link in the description below.
Okay. All right. Let's make like butt cheeks and pull this thing together, guys. All right, let's go.
Okay, guys,
I don't even get it.
if you're not following In and Out Crypto, go follow that on Twitter. This is Rocco's business page. It's got a whole section, inandoutcrypto.com, an entire section of just XRP stuff. So if you're part of the XRP army, go check it out. If you're a well member of our channel, you get 10% off. So go pick out some of your favorite stuff. Now, moving on to some crypto news. So we're going to first take a look at the cryptocurrency market cap. Well, the cryptocurrencies in general. So here we have from CoinMarketCap, we have the total market cap sitting at 1.22 trillion. Thank you, Pepe. 24-hour trading volume at $40 billion. Bitcoin dominance and ETH dominance slightly ticking down. Well, ETH dominance has ticked up, but BTC dominance has been around that 46.5 to 47%. Look at that gas on ETH, 200 Gwei. I went to take some profit on my Pepe trade. And first it asked me to spend $22 just to approve the Pepe token. Then it asked me for another $60 to swap it to Ethereum. And so needless to say, guess I'm holding on to my bag until it either goes to 100K or zero. Bitcoin, 29,500, up 2.5% over the last 24 hours, followed by ETH just shy of $2,000, BNB, XRP sitting at 46.5 cents. I do have an XRP chart here I want to show. So I have this drawn out, and I had this drawn out before this red candle printed. And so what we kind of have here on the 1 hour is this is called a ascending triangle. This is a bullish chart here. And so these do typically break to the upside. But you can see here, we kind of triple topped here. You can even call this a quadruple top. 1, 2. Do we combine these?
That's the
into
30K, right? Or 29, like 6
This
or something?
is XRP.
I thought we were looking at
XRP,
Bitcoin.
yes.
Okay.
This is XRP. But it looks like we're starting to kind of print a spinning top slash a potential doji here, which typically signals indecision in the market. RSI is coming in at 60. We do have a ton of volume coming in right at this 45 to 46 cent level. Now, we have heard a lot of insane XRP predictions from everyone, not just XRP people, but from other people. What is what is a crazy prediction you've heard, but you've actually been like, okay, that actually might happen? I'll start with you first, Jake.
Okay. So I'll just play out a scenario if XRP were to take over the settlement piece of Swift. Okay, so Swift transacts about 5 trillion a day in daily volume, and there's 50 billion XRP that aren't in escrow, right? So let's say all of that XRP will be used for those transactions, which obviously isn't going to be the case, but just for numbers' sake, we'll say it is. And then you've got, you can use that same XRP up to 10 times a day, okay? So you've got 5 trillion divided by 50 billion, going to give you $100. And if it was used, all those XRP were used 10 times a day, it's $10 a piece. So that seems reasonable, right? And it may not get all that volume, right? There's international payments that are done by Swift, and some of those could be handled through other corridors. But that's kind of like a realistic expectation in my mind within the next couple of years. CBDCs are coming online. That's not going anywhere. All these governments are implementing those. And depending on what network they're issued on, right, that volume may go outside the XRPL. But that's kind of where I think the majority of them are going to be issued. And if that's the case, you could see $10 or, if it was significantly less of the asset that was used for those transactions, you could see something substantially higher.
Yeah, I don't think $10 is something I hear and I'm like, oh my God, there's no way. What about you, Rob? What is one maybe outlandish price prediction you heard, but you were kind of like, I can see that happening?
Well, the sky's the limit on the outlandish prices. I mean, I've seen it as high as $100, $200, and I just think with the market cap and just crypto market cap in general, I think that's just not realistic. But I think that a bullish scenario for me would be about $6, $7. And I know a lot of people are throwing out 10 and above and beyond.
What about $100?
Yeah, no, definitely not. So I think $10 is a little much for me. But I think $6. I think realistically it would probably go to $3 to $6. I could see it if there was a favorable court decision. Well, one, just the sheer liquidity that exchange, because I'm assuming if they were to have a favorable court decision, be labeled a commodity, for example, you would have all the relistings on the American-based exchanges, Coinbase, Binance.us, Gemini. And then from there, these exchanges, I'm sure they're still holding XRP. It's not like they liquidated all of it. However, they're going to definitely pick some up because the XRP tokens that they're sitting on was the early 2020 amount. I'm sure they probably sold some of it. Even if they didn't, they're going to need a lot more liquidity. And so just supply shock, multiple exchanges grabbing up liquidity for trading, not to mention just the straight FOMO that you're going to get from just the retail environment. So you're going to have an increased volume anyways. So even if you are an international exchange and you have XRP listed, the volume is going to probably triple, quadruple, 10x. And so for that reason, those exchanges as well are going to have to pick up some XRP. So I think it's going to cause an extreme supply shock, which you're going to see like a big candle wick where I could see $6. I think it could, I guess, go as high as $10, but I'm pretty sure it would go about that $6, pull back down after a week or two, and then probably settle in around $3, which I think would put it up in the top 3.
I think it was supplant Binance Coin.
Yeah, because
if all things remain the same
at $3 or 10x, it would put it right there where Ethereum is. So that's why I think $3 is. I think that's where it's going to settle in at, because that would put it at a pretty similar market cap to Ethereum right now. And I know that might sound a little crazy, but it was only in 2017. There was, I think it was like a 2-week period, or late 2017, early 2018. It's like a 2-week period where XRP had actually supplanted Ethereum on the market cap list for the number 2 token. So I think it could give it a run for its money again. I just don't think it's going to surpass Ethereum to a point where it 2x's its market cap. I just don't think that the infrastructure is there for XRP, but who knows? So that's my.
You don't think if they got clarity from the SEC and the rest of the market didn't, that institutions would start dumping other tokens and pile into XRP?
So my kind of theory is in the middle of a bear market, and where I kind of just look at the market cap of crypto in general. So the market cap's $1 trillion. And so Bitcoin's dominance is 40%, 20% is ETH. And so for it to get to a 10x would put it at, so a 20x would put it at $8. And then a 25x would put it at 25x would roughly put it at $10. I'll just say that somewhere in there between 20 and 25x. And with that said, you're going to be at the market cap of Bitcoin. Now, I understand that. I would say this: when the bull market comes around, definitely going to see some higher price movements. But I'm just kind of in the anticipation that the resolution happens within the next month. I think that's kind of reasonable. I think a lot of people are expecting a resolution sometime soon. And if it were to happen in the next month, we are in the midst of a bear market. It's just not enough liquidity floating around in the total market cap of crypto. And so that's the reason I say that. But who knows? I mean, you might get a monster candle wick. I just don't think it's sustainable to trade over $5 for any length of time past like a couple of weeks. And that's
Jake, you brought up the fact that, hey, there's clarity now. People are just going to dump their other tokens and go into XRP. What we can also see happen is, hey, there's clarity now, which means all the other tokens are probably commodities too. Well, at least all the other top 20, 25 tokens. So it could go either way. But, I feel like as long as XRP continues to build, they're continuing to expand globally, not just here in the US, but globally. They're making partnerships. And they serve a real purpose, an important purpose in replacing the old money system rails. And so I don't think $10 is out of the question. Someone in here said, the bull market's back. Crypto YouTubers are making random guesses on prices.
There it is. Real quick, a little bit about the chat as well. If you're new here, say hello so we can drop an hola back at you. We have K. John Slug, King Christopher Paul, some numbers, Hutchinson. We got Marcus, Modemaster, John Foster, Rapunzel, Theo. To all of you, hola!
Rapunzel.
Welcome to Sin City Crypto. Also, do us a favor, hit the like button. Let's get this party started. Thank you.
Okay. I want to go back to the crypto market here. So we stopped at XRP. That's at 46.5 cents. Again, we're kind of at that resistance level, but we're forming an ascending triangle. Moving on, we have some of the other top tokens here. We have Cardano at 39 cents. I know it's not Cardano, it's Cardano. Dogecoin at a little under 8 cents. So really no volume in Doge. Well, because we know why. All the volume has gone to Pepe and everything else. Polygon Matic sitting at $1 flat. And then Solana rounding out the top 10 at $22.51. If we take a look at the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, we have greed coming in at 61. So 61, very greedy. Now, before I move on to anything else, I want to give a quick shout out to our channel sponsor, CAMS Blue Wire Technology. Now, if you're not familiar with what CAMS does, you can head over to the website or you can listen to what I'm going to have to say. What CAMS Blue Wire Tech does, it gives you IT solutions, provides your business with scalable IT solutions so you can focus on new revenue streams for your business. If you want more information, go to bluewiretech.com or click the link in the description of this video. So big shout out to our sponsor. Thank you very much. Now, as far as fear and greed index, we're at 61. We were at 64 yesterday. We got to as high as, I believe, 67, potentially, or no, maybe 67, I think. I saw this was in April or March. Are you guys do you feel a shift in sentiment in investors, whether it's looking at something like Pepe and people's appetite for risk is coming back? Do you feel that shift in narrative, that shift in people feeling like, hey, it's safe to invest in the market again? Jenna, I'll ask you first.
I think it's cool because it's like kind of a middle finger to Gary Gensler, right? Like just like this huge shitcoin pump. I don't mean shitcoin, sorry. Meme coin pump.
Don't be talking about no froggies like that.
No, I have Pepe too. But no, I think it's cool. I think the market sentiment's definitely coming back. But I was excited to see, again, Matic under $1. I absolutely love that.
Did you pick any up?
Not this time.
Come
I need to. I know. I don't have my trading app with me. I'm not with my stuff.
Fair enough. Gonzo, what about you, man? Are you? Did you feel a shift in sentiment here amongst investors? Maybe people that are currently in the space, or maybe people that are looking to get into the space that have been waiting.
Yeah, it definitely does feel like there's more of a risk appetite. I mean, we can see that with the meme coins with Pepe. I think that's like a huge indicator. The only question is it like an indicator that we've kind of topped, or is it just like the beginning of what's to come, right? And I'm under the belief of that going into June, we're going to have some bullish price action, and then something's going to happen, right? We saw it in 2016 and 2019 with Bitcoin, where it was bullish up into, I think, the middle of June, and then we had a major correction. So that's kind of what I'm leaning towards, is what we're going to see again. And it would make sense, right? Because you get all this bullish price action, all this Pepe stuff going on, and then they trap people, right? Everyone starts to buy in, they trap them, and then it comes right back down, right? And then I think that'll just take us right into next year, into the halving, and into the next bull run.
Jake or Max, what side are you on? Are you on the side of hey, this is a top signal and we're about to come back down, or is this just hey, people are back?
There's an increasing number of people that are starting to lose faith in fiat as a whole, and so I think that's what's causing a lot of this kind of new price action going on. Is that you have your normal everyday person that's starting to be like, okay, so tell me more about that crypto stuff y'all have been doing, because this doesn't make sense anymore, or they're starting to just understand, kind of where we have been, financially since 1971. They're starting to kind of get educated on what's actually been happening. So I think that we'll continue to see trends of people onboarding that haven't really been in the space before. Whether that's going to ramp up significantly in the immediate future is kind of yet to be determined, but I think that it's still like every day you're seeing more and more people.
They say everyone's got a plan until you get punched in the face, and
Whoa.
I feel like the banks going under has been a punch to people's face. They're
Easy.
At one point before I got into crypto, my plan was have a 401k, have an IRA, have some life insurance that I do investment money in, where the cash accrual, and that's my plan. And I have some money in the bank, 6 months of emergency fund savings. And I feel like these banks have punched us in the face, and to some people outside of crypto, they're maybe looking inwards and saying, well, what's my other options? And I think crypto might come.
We're seeing a really interesting situation in crypto, because I don't think that the traditional, I don't want to say traditional, the last bull market, when everyone was piling in on these meme coins, it was novice retail investors that were just looking for a quick dollar. What's strange here is that this meme rally here seems to be driven from within the community. Right. And so a lot of the influencers, a lot of people on YouTube, Twitter, just inundated with people that didn't have so much of a risk appetite, and they were just talking about general crypto, are now spamming meme coins in their Twitter feed and on as their subject matter on YouTube. And so it's just an interesting situation. And what I think it draws on more so than what we might be talking about is the fact that we're moving into a bull market and people are looking to make some gains. And for that reason, people know they're not going to make any big X's on Bitcoin at the moment because of where we are in the market. But at the same time, they're looking to make a profit, and the top 3 or 4 coins aren't going to necessarily move. And so the DGens are out here looking to make some money, but the DGens ain't the dumb retail that was here before. It's our own crypto people. So once I think that, or once this meme coin...
But what does that tell you, though?
Once meme coin craze dies down a little bit, what we're going to see is the savvy investors, because that's who it is. It's just so strange to me. The savvy investors in crypto, the people that have been here for a while, are the ones that are investing in meme coins right now. So once this kind of dies down, I don't want to say the rug gets pulled, but once we get like some real correction and people know they're not going to get another 5x out of a meme coin, once they have that realization, they're going to start identifying and searching for the real projects that are building in the crypto space, and perhaps ones and positioning themselves for the next bull market, and the ones that are set to pop off, the layer ones to be exact. Also, what I'm kind of curious.
Correct you. Does this look like a chart that's going to crash?
Stop.
Actually, it does.
Now, I do want to say we got less than like a 30% or less than a 40% like ratio. Wow. What's going on? Rocco, give me the camera. Bring it over here. Bring it over here. On me, please.
dial it.
All right. We're not going to continue this show until you hit this like button. So do us a favor, hit the damn like button. I don't know what else I got. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow. Great analysis.
Hola!
We're gonna hear Rob spaz out. All right, now let's take a look at some of the biggest gainers and losers, and of course, biggest gainer, none other than Los Pepes. Pepe and Floki. Now, what do these two have in common? Well, I'll tell you what they have in common. They both got listed on the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, aka Binance. Yeah. Pepe up 103% over the last day. Floki up 51% over the last day. The Ric Flair token, I call it the Woo Network, that is up 8.8%. And the other token is Bit. What is Bit? B-I-T. BitGet? No, not BitGet. BitLab. No.
You know,
Bit something.
you know you can just click it, right?
I know.
Tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. What would I do if Robin wasn't here? BitDAO. BitDAO.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you, Robin.
Yeah.
Guys, my
job.
life is complete. Now, as far as some of the biggest losers, Caspa is down almost 6%. FTT token, that was up pretty big yesterday. Now it's down 4.5%.
I'm telling you, I think this meme thing's got like 2, maybe 3 weeks left. Start identifying what the next sector is going to be, because this is very reminiscent of the last rise to the bull market, where hey, you had the smart contracts and layer ones rallying, and then you had NFT space rallying, and then anything that had metaverse rallying, then you had DeFi rally, you know, the likes of Uniswap, PancakeSwap, and then you had the launch tokens, the DEX launches or whatever it is.
Pepe is
The launch pads, yeah. And I would just try to keep an eye out, see what's the Twitter buzz, and position yourself to get into these before they start popping off. I like to think of it like fireworks. You know, you're gonna have all the tokens just laid out, and then they're just gonna start popping off one by one. And I don't think there's enough sustained market cap for them all to pop off at the same time. But I could see a scenario where, hey, one sector is going to rally, going to take a break, pull back, another sector will rally. So that's what I'm going to be identifying.
What about a scenario that Pepe is down 30% in an hour?
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah. Guys, this is what we talk about, right? People always talk about how much money they make, but I want you to see the other side of it too. Like, this is what meme coins do. Coins that have no utility, coins that are a joke, right? We can make a lot of money, but you can also lose 30% in less than an hour and a half. So always proceed with caution. Now, anyone in here invest in Pepe?
Double down on your position now that it's corrected a little bit, or
I'm good.
too much in the gas fees to get it over there?
Yeah, until
Okay.
it gets to 0.00005, and I'll be like, damn,
I'd be careful, because the like I said earlier, the people that are invested are smart money. What we saw in the last run up in 2020 was people were piling in a SHIB, and these are like waitresses, just your common people, your mechanic. These people that piled in on SHIB, they're just like, whatever, man, I bought it. I threw $1,000, man, whatever. I'm just gonna hold it. Maybe I'll go to $1 in 20 years. Now you got to think these are savvy investors here, and they will take profits on your ass. That's why we see it pulling back 30%. That's all I'm saying. Thank you.
But why you got to bring waitresses in?
I'm just saying that your average, hourly position across America.
Wow. All right, let's get into some news. Let's start here with this is from the XRP blog, Q1 2023 XRP markets report. So the ripple.com/insights if you want to take a look for yourself. A few things I've highlighted here. Total XRP sales by Ripple in Q1 net purchases were 361 million versus 226 million the previous quarter. So up about $140 million, $135 million. XRP Ledger on-chain activity remains strong, with DEX volumes increasing 34% to 115 million compared to Q4 of last year. XRP average daily volume on centralized exchanges jumped 46% in Q1 from 700 million to $1 billion. Developers proposed a new interoperability standards XLS38D for the XRP ledger that would enable users to transfer digital assets and data between blockchains regardless of underlying protocol or programming language. I want to stop there.
Real quick, I want to see where our community lies on XRP, because I know that normally we don't have an
Lying in
entire
your beds or couches.
we don't have an entire show dedicated to XRP, and so I'm just curious if you are a fan of the XRP. Put the XRP emojis up in the chat, or put a 1 in the chat. If you're a hater, put a 2 and or a Bitcoin emoji in the chat, and we want to see what you guys think. So thank you.
Vin Diesel.
Oh, triple X. Well,
Put Vin Diesel in the chat.
Well, we're in Vegas. Remember, triple X has a different meaning here. Be careful. Does anyone have any info on this XLS 38D and what this blockchains being able to interoperate regardless of the programming language? Anyone have any info on this that wants to expand on it?
So we were able to talk to David Schwartz last week at Consensus. That's the first time that I had even heard of this amendment. He's looking to sometime after October for it to be passed. Oh, cool. So the validators have to hold, an 80% consensus on chain that they're going to pass an amendment for 2 weeks, and then it'll be implemented. But I was hopeful that Flare Networks, when that launched, would be this capability for the XRP ledger. But they haven't ever minted any of the F tokens or any of the stuff that they kind of promised on that deal. So I'm hopeful that this amendment to the XRPL that's inherent to the network will actually provide the cross-chain interoperability that we wanted to see.
Do you feel like Flare kind of played the XRP community a little bit?
Man,
It's a trap meme.
I don't want to believe that. I do. Well, yeah.
Sorry about you.
Zing. I think Hugo was in a tough spot, and I'm hopeful that they do, eventually bring those features that they discussed and propagated for 2 years while they were delaying the airdrop of the token before they dumped on everybody. And you guys can debate this. I'll throw this out here since we're on the show and we're talking about crazy pricing. I think that the majority of the biggest bag holders when the Flare snapshot was taken were banks back in 2020. So if you wanted to get the majority of the retail people out and you wanted to buy up all the Flare off the secondary market, makes a lot of sense that you would just dump it, and then all of retail would think it was junk and they would sell their bags and all the banks would buy it. So don't know. That's speculation,
that's
but
interesting.
Put my tinfoil hat on.
There's a lot of room right now for institutional tomfoolery. I think that we're not taking into account things because we can't show what's happening yet. But that's the option.
And if we know anything about traditional banks and all that, they don't say no to tomfoolery. What are your thoughts on that, Robin? They did take the snapshot from 2020. So at that point, we had a lot of banks, a lot of exchanges holding liquidity. We know Coinbase didn't do an airdrop for the Flare token for their holders.
They actually did.
They did?
fulfilled
Okay.
on that just recently.
Okay.
So kudos. Most of the time, they're assholes and don't give you what they're supposed to.
Okay.
But this time, they actually did, fulfill their obligation.
And they did post a picture with Stuart Alderati the other day as well.
That's right. Paul Graywell did, yeah. Okay, so there you have it.
That's why you should diversify and have a bag packed just in case.
Yeah. And speaking of airdrops, just real quick, I know we have a lot of our community members here hold Gala token. Gala's doing their V2 migration on May 15th. Coinbase has already came out and said they will not support the airdrop or the conversion. So if you have Gala on Coinbase or honestly any centralized exchange, I will custody it yourself, either on a MetaMask, Trust Wallet, or just like a Ledger or a Trezor, something I would recommend. Jenna, can you just briefly, what is Flare? Flare token, what was its purpose? Why was it airdropped? Maybe give some background for some of our viewers.
Honestly, I haven't really fully figured that out yet because I really feel like the XRP community kind of got played and sold like a bunch of pipe dreams with it and everything.
Why do you feel that way?
Because nothing was really produced and the whole airdrop thing was just a mess. And I actually did an interview with Hugo and...
Who is Hugo, by the way? I've heard that name mentioned twice.
CEO.
Of Flare, okay.
Yeah. But what kind of got me and I didn't like was just like there was the Flare token on BitTrue and you could buy it, but it was supposedly like this IOU token. So I asked him about it and he told me he had no idea what that was.
And this is the CEO.
But I'm like, this is your project. How do you not know? And literally the day before, he had an AMA with BitTrue. So I'm like, I know you's a liar.
Weird.
Yeah. So
So I mean,
what?
wasn't it supposed to bring smart contracts
Yeah,
and like
EVM,
DEXs and decentralization to the Ripple network, right? Or the XRP ledger?
Yeah, so you should be able
Like,
to mint.
was it supposed to be a layer 2? And I know it's supposed to be EVM compatible. So it's like a layer 2 that's interoperable with Ethereum and smart contracts and
Right. So you're basically going to be able to wrap whatever other token on top of the XRPL.
okay.
And mint an F. Hey, Pepe, mint an F asset, and then you would be able to transact with much lower fees and much faster than you would on other networks.
So what argument would you pose against someone that's saying, hey, well, you already have, the payments infrastructure, the rails for, it's like a lot of communication out here is that Ripple is designing a network for central banks and institutions to move money internationally.
They've labeled it the banker's coin.
Yeah,
People
the
have
banker's
labeled it
coin.
the banker's coin.
And whether or not that's actually what it is, it's just a common narrative. And I feel like a lot of people are like, well, the reason, Flare might not be as successful as people are predicting is for the simple fact that we already have smart contracts, and why wrap assets and use it on the XRP network when we already have the infrastructure dApps built out. I mean, you could say that essentially about any new layer ones coming out or any EVM compatible chains that are building. But what is your kind of like pushback against that argument or
So there are no smart contract capabilities currently built into the XRPL. That's what Hooks is supposed to do. That's an amendment that should be passed before XLS 30D. And you need that capability for CBDCs to exist on chain and work and be interoperable. So for it to fulfill the use case that you guys all just mentioned as a banker's coin, like it has to have some smart contract capability on chain. Right now, it just has the throughput and the TPS that others don't. And that's through side chains and some other capabilities that other networks don't have. But yeah, what is the finite question that you were asking?
I just why use? I get what you're saying now. You want to incorporate smart contracts so that way you can have if and then scenarios on.
And there are side chains that have EVMs set on top of it already as a layer 2 for the interoperability with that. So I think it's Purus is a side chain that's currently in development that utilizes the EVM on top of the XRPL. But you need some native smart contract capability in order to fulfill the CBDC side of things. So I don't think we see full-scale CBDC implementation until after Hooks is passed as an amendment.
And then one last thing: do you find that the Flare token, the what they're building, do you think that's been a success? Do you like the direction it's going, or do you? I mean, I know it's still early in development, so there's still a lot under construction. But I'm just curious.
Well, so my problem with Flare has always been to mint the F asset, you had to put up XRP. Well, so to mint FXRP, you have to put up the XRP, and somebody else would put up 2.5 times that amount of Flare token to mint it on the network and be able to do it with the smart contracts. But they can run off with the XRP if they want to. Now they're going to lose the 2.5 times the amount, whatever the value was in the Flare token that they put up. But let's say they knew that XRP was going to be more valuable, right? It's just 2.5x. Like in crypto, like you just talked about, 10x, 20x, 50x, that happens. So I was always hesitant to utilize that protocol unless you put up both sides of the transaction. So with the Flare drop, I did get Flare. You could put up, 2.5 times the amount of XRP that you wanted to mint, the FXRP, and then there's no counterparty risk. It's not somebody else that's put that up.
Would you feel more comfortable putting up that XRP and, maybe it gets stolen, or would you feel more comfortable sacrificing ETH to someone's wallet who one person has access to? Hex.
Why you gotta bring Hex into this?
Just asking.
See, so there's just a lot of situations where there's counterparty risk, and that's the whole point of digital assets in general, right? You're able to custody this, you own it, you have control of it. The bank doesn't owe it back to you. And we're partnered with PolySign through the Digital Family Office. So you guys familiar with that company at all?
Mm-mm.
Well, yeah, so he's not the CTO there. He's on the board. But they'll be the BNY Mellon of digital assets. So they provide institutional custody for digital assets, and their security protocol that they have is next level. The cold wallet capability that they provide is they shard the keys and they hold it across multiple jurisdictions.
Oh.
And so when you go to sign the transaction, there's multi-factor authentication that's required from you and a trusted party.
It's video chat with an AI to prove that you're you. Basically, it's pretty
Really?
spooky.
Yeah, it's called PolySign.
Yeah, so that's the overarching company. They have 3 subsidiaries. One is Standard Custody and Trust, who provides custody services. That's all they do. There's no like leverage or trading or exchanging, any of that. They just hold your assets. And then they have MG Stover, which they just acquired a couple months ago. They do back-end fund management and accounting for in crypto. So this is in the traditional financial space, but they can do it in kind. So they can raise in Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and 31 other assets 31 assets in total that Standard Custody and Trust holds. Well, Atomic Net's
Can we say that?
No,
We can't say this much, but there's a thing called Atomic Net that they own too. So
Tell us more.
Google it. Yeah.
I think I found the patent, but we'll see.
Yeah.
That's intriguing. Sharded private keys.
Yeah, so
That's very intriguing.
should be quantum proof in that regard because you have to hack all those different
Right.
physical locations. They are going to license that model.
The closest thing I can describe it to is if you watched like Blade Runner 2049, the part when he has to like read the poem to get back to baseline, like that's your keys to like unlock your wallet now.
I feel like that's, like I can imagine if I had $100 million in crypto and I got private keys and I would obviously want to diversify it and have my 4 or 5 ledgers or whatever. And I got to keep private keys and like, it would probably be nerve wracking. And imagine these institutions like we're talking about here to give them the option of trustless private key holding via what you're talking about. I think is very intriguing.
And so on top of that, each vault at PolySign is insured up to $50 million. And you can have as many vaults per account as you need. So and that's crime insurance. It's not what BlockFi offers.
Right.
Like if
Who's
they get
BlockFi?
they're another traditional
I know.
crypto custodian.
They were.
Yeah,
Used
so
to. They were.
it's real crime insurance. If they were to get hacked for any reason, you actually get that amount of money. It's
Interesting.
not just fake.
See, I like hearing stuff like this because, my whole thing has always been it's not practical for the average regular investor for me to sit him down and be like, all right, well, you have $100K in crypto or I got $100K. I want to move out of my 401K. Okay, set up this account, then buy it here, then send it here, then move it out of there. Go get a ledger, go write the private key down.
Are you a financial advisor? That sounds like
I almost got
Providing
my Series 7 license. Financial friends. Financial friends with benefits.
financial buddies. Speaking of buddies, I do want to give a shout out to some of our new buddies in the chat. If you are new here, say hello so we can drop an hola back at you. We got Abs, Big Green Sun, Rosen, JRB619, and Mr. Whale. Also, Miguel Costa says he's happy that Big Rob is back. He's been straight spitting facts. So, to all of you,
Dude, he said that like 50 messages ago. You've been sitting on that, haven't you?
I never
You've been
disregard
sitting
an
on that for
extremely
10
important
minutes.
message. It was an extremely important message.
The
Do
dude
not-
literally sat on that for 10 minutes. And I was like, I saw that 10
See,
minutes
the
ago.
thing is that you remembered too, so it caught your eye. So you obviously took note of it as well. Also, we got Bradley Boyoko, something like that. Also, Idala V, and to you, Hola.
Guys, if you want to throw some super chats, I promise we will spend that money and get a speech coach for Rob.
Best in Pepe.
You know what's funny? Hold on, I got a story to tell you. So, in case y'all wondering, but
Hold on, we doing story time?
sure, why not?
Story time? Okay,
Yeah,
story
why not?
time.
Why not?
Hopefully it works. The button works. Oh, it does work.
There it
There's
is.
Robin.
It's been
Poor
a while.
kids.
There you go.
Oh my God.
So, it was a few weeks ago. I went down to Atlanta and
Okay, hold on real quick. Please, no mention of
Shut
I
it,
rolled.
it's my story
Hold on,
time.
no
You're not part of
mention-
this
just
book.
real quick, please.
You
no
are not part of
mention-
this book.
No mention of I was homecoming king. No
Stop,
mention of I
stop,
rolled
stop.
77
Can
sevens.
I have my moment?
Okay,
This
go
is my
ahead.
segment.
Okay, go ahead.
Your face was not on there. Thank you.
Thank God.
Down in Atlanta, so I'm in a different environment, not as comfortable as I am here in studio. And I noticed I had a lot of ums. And so I told David, I was like, you know what? I'm going to hire a speech coach so that way I can get rid of these damn ums and uhs. And I sent them. So I talked to several different speech coaches, and then they were like, oh, well, send me a link to your YouTube. All three of them watched the YouTube and never responded to me. No callbacks.
You know why, right?
Nothing.
You know why, right?
I
They're
think
like,
I'm assuming they hate
can't save
crypto.
him.
I'm assuming they're big fiat homers. They probably have family that work at Goldman Sachs. I don't know.
I bet you
I'm
it
just
was
saying.
he's past saving. We can't save him.
Maybe.
I'm kidding. You know, when I was trying to find a video editor one time for a video a while ago, I sent like 10 people and no one got back to me.
Yeah.
People are just, it's like even when we try to give them
So
money.
where I was getting at is just
what's
be
the point of
weird.
the story?
You said you were going to give me a speech coach. I was just saying good luck because I tried.
They're trying to stick it out for their UBI to come in. That's what it is. They're like, well, if I work, it's all going to fall apart. We gotta just wait. Strike.
We're going to charge you by the hour. We're going to take 700 hours.
And we also got a couple super chats in the house as well. We got Talladega Fitness dropping a $2.99 super chat. Let's chip in, guys. And also Jason S says, love you guys as well.
You know what they're chipping in for, right?
What's that?
The speech
He
coach.
doesn't even remember what I said 5 minutes ago. The speech coach.
Memory coach as well.
You know, I like when we have guests in studio because all the frustrations I have with my business partner, Robin, here, you guys can see it firsthand. Let's see it firsthand.
Right.
Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. All right, let's go. Let's go over to some more crypto, or not crypto, but XRP news. So we have this from Coinpedia. XRP news today. Here are two possible scenarios for XRP's price if Ripple triumphs. In 2023, the price of XRP has increased almost 55%, largely due to the expectation that Ripple will emerge victorious in its legal battle against the SEC. Analysts and experts predict that the ongoing accumulation of the XRP tokens could eventually outpace sell-offs, leading to a potential explosion in price. Two potential outcomes if there is a favorable ruling or settlement in the SEC case. First is that the price would explode within seconds, indicating a positive interpretation of the news. There is also a second possibility that the market could misinterpret the news, leading to a short-term decrease in price. Now, Gonzo, we're in Vegas. We have sports books. We bet on almost everything. We bet on weird stuff as well. If you were a betting man and you were to bet on one of these two scenarios, which scenario are you putting your money on?
We'd get positive price action and it would run
Immediately?
immediately on some announcement.
Just off the news? Or would it have to be
because people
like...
are hella emotional, right? Like, as I keep saying this, like, until we get above like 60 cents, there's like nothing to write home about, right? And we haven't even gotten close to that. We got to 50 something, right? But and then it was funny because when we started to get into those levels, people were already kind of saying, oh, we're going to get a resolution of the case. We're going to get a resolution of the case. And nothing happened, right? So if we actually did get some kind of announcement, I think it would run because people are like hella emotional, and they've been waiting for this for a long time. It's kind of pent up.
But let me ask you this question. But let me ask you this: the people, the big XRP homers, right? A lot of them have been buying XRP, waiting for the lawsuit to settle. So if we're talking about a 3x, 4x, 5x immediately, where's that money going to come from? Is it going to come from maybe institutional investors sitting on the sideline? That's why I asked, like, do we have to wait to see relistings on exchanges so that liquidity could be grabbed? Where's that money going to come from?
Yeah, I mean, I think I could. I mean, look what's going on right now with Pepe, right? You had all this FOMO. Like, think about where it started when it's been around like 16 days, something like 17 days. Now think about what would happen with XRP and an announcement that they won the lawsuit. Just as far as like retail FOMOing in, and then the listings, and then and then when you add the institutional money coming in, I think it would come from all of that, right? But all you have to see is kind of what's going on with Pepe, and then all it would take is a couple listings, and then you start to get the FOMO that would kick in.
Jenna, you're at Caesar's Palace, and you have these two scenarios up there. They're both even money. Where's your money going?
My money's gone gonzo on that one.
Gonzo?
Yeah. I mean, I agree that that's when we'll see the pump and everything, but it's going to take time. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen overnight. I don't think that it's going to be relisted overnight. So I think we're going to see that steady, but price could go anywhere. I think it's just got to be prepared for whatever.
You don't think that Coinbase is maybe partnering with Ripple behind the scenes, like an enemy of my enemy is my friend type situation?
You know, you brought that up, and I actually have this tweet pulled up here and this picture, and we can go ahead and share this, Rocco. So John Deaton tweeted this. Well, a lot of people tweeted it, but this is on the left. You have Paul Graywall, who is the chief legal officer for Coinbase, and that's Stu Alderodi, which I believe is his counterpart, right? Same, hold the same position for Ripple. A lot of people speculating. One of the speculations was this: is there a XRP listing coming to Coinbase? I don't know. My thing is, and then how many of those people that picked up XRP at 30 cents, at 40 cents, if it gets to $2-3, how many of those people are going to take profits? How many of those people are going to sell? Or is FOMO just going to be insane to the point where that's not going to matter? People are going to pile in more because you might have 20,000 XRP tokens, but you're kind of maybe a little nervous, a little worried about dumping more money in because, hey, even though we think the probabilities are very high that XRP is going to win or Ripple's going to win, there is still a small chance that the SEC wins. Do you think that's a scenario, Robin?
You know what I think is happening here is outside of what you're saying is that we have joining forces very similar to Captain Planet, where you have the lawyer team for Coinbase and Ripple, who are both in a lawsuit or litigation.
There's only 2 of them, not 5 of them.
Well, there might be more to join soon, but I'm just saying.
For real, bro.
It's the Voltron?
It's because of the energy credits. They're trying to get carbon credits out of it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Dragon
We're
Ball
all
Z
green.
would have been a lot better for that.
Which puts me to my next point. The guy, what is the? Have you ever watched Captain Planet? Are you familiar with that that show?
A long time ago.
So, anyways, they all have powers. There's one guy that has heart. Like I was always trying to figure out, like, that's the lamest
superpower
power ever. Everyone else got like earth, fire,
you would
wind,
say that, Robin, 'cause
and
you
he's
don't
all
have
like
a heart.
heart, and then all of a sudden, like dolphins start jumping out of the water and like giving them a ride somewhere.
I just always wanted to understand like the villains that are just like waking up and trying to figure out a new way to pollute. Like, what's just be like, let's just dump oil in the river today.
Hey, I'm bored today. What should we do? Yeah,
the narratives are pretty weak on that.
That's
one.
a whole different topic. That's a Bitcoin mining special show we're gonna do.
Post moon, I pledge to be that villain. I will pollute as much as possible. So
That's
just
messed
the guy that he would like eat fish all day, like raw fish right out of the water. Just,
You told me you wanted to blow up the moon.
we're gonna have that happen to you.
Okay. All right.
All my James Bond plots, like just wait for them.
this is how I feel like this is David right now. We're just having David's like, guys, you're not listening to me. Like, don't worry, guys. He's like XRP, like Captain Planet.
That's pretty funny. Actually,
I love it.
I want to know what the chat thinks. Okay, if you had to pick a scenario, scenario 1, price explodes immediately. Scenario 2, we see a small drawdown and then price starts moving up slowly. 1, immediate price movement to the upside. 2, price declines and then slowly moves up.
And this is in regards to what?
To XRP as soon as the lawsuit gets settled or they win.
I want to throw out a different scenario.
Yeah.
So the whole purpose of this lawsuit is to delineate between Ripple and XRP that they're not the same thing, right? So I think the best scenario for that would be if Ripple wins the case and nothing happens to price, right? And they have the XRP that they've been buying back to suppress it. I'm not saying I like that, but I'm just saying if you wanted to make sure that XRP was not associated with Ripple, then you wouldn't want there to be price action in correlation
But Jake,
with the case.
would that matter after the fact? I mean, we know there's probably going to be an appeal if the SEC loses, right?
Right.
Unless there's a settlement to where that's out of the question. But I think you bring up an interesting point. Like, would that matter, or would that actually hurt Ripple's case if there is an appeal?
Like I said, they want
What do you guys think?
the delineation between the token and the company, right?
Well, once there's a judgment, that's what it is. It's concrete. You can appeal, which you're taking the litigation further, but it doesn't stop the judgment. So if you get found guilty of murder and you go to prison, now you can appeal it, and then later on you can get out. But the fact of the matter is, at that moment when the judge says you're guilty or innocent, whatever it is, that's what it is. And so if XRP is deemed a commodity, they're a commodity, bro. If they're not deemed a security, they're not a security. Now you can appeal it. How long do you think that's going to take? First of all, it's going to take years just to even get a court date set up. And then from there, the court case would take another year or two. I mean, no, you don't need to look any further than the court case we're dealing with now, which is we're 2+ years in. So, I mean, you're talking about a 4 or 5 years out on an appeal judgment. And even then, appeals just historically do not get overturned generally. And they normally only appeal if there was a conflict of interest. There was somebody was corrupt or bribed, or somebody was found out to be lying, or whatever it is.
A new piece of really big evidence comes out.
I'm not saying they wouldn't win the appeal, but I think it's such a non-factor, especially in crypto's move fast era. If they're not a security, boom, let's go, man. We got 4 years to party before even the worst case scenario, an appeal gets overturned.
As far as the appeal, we had Jeremy Hogan on the show, and when we talked about the appeal thing, he was under the impression, he's an attorney, right? We're not attorneys, but he was under the impression that the SEC wouldn't appeal it. And the reason why is because once it goes to the appellate court, if they lose in the appellate court, it becomes law. And if they just lose in the initial, then it becomes a case where the other companies can kind of refer back to the case, but it's not law. And once it goes to the appellate court and they rule on it, now it becomes law. So they risk that. And that's kind of what Jeremy had said. So it kind of makes sense when you hear the explanation. Yeah.
And then also, we see a couple people in the chat that are saying, I saw Age of Jeremy says, hey, it's Jen and Gonzo. See you both soon. If you're going to be here in town for XRP convention, what's it called? XRBP, right?
XRP Las Vegas.
2023.
XR 2020? Okay. And if you're going to be in town for that, let us know. And what we'd like you to do is send us some pictures. Put it in our Twitter feed. It is Sin City Crypto 1 is our handle.
Tag us.
Yeah, tag us, and then you got about 20 minutes. We'll throw those up on the stream as well. So.
Now, I want to stay on the topic of lawsuits, and I want to move on to Gary. Who's Gary, you might ask? Well, Gary Gensler. Gary Gensler is straying into dangerous territory with the Ripple lawsuit, says pro-XRP lawyer. You can only imagine who this pro-XRP lawyer is, John Deaton. Now, this is sourced from Daily Hodl. Lawyer John Deaton says SEC Chairman Gary Gensler is pushing legal boundaries for accusing Ripple of violating securities laws. And here's a few things he said. The U.S. Supreme Court issued the landmark SEC Howey decision in 1946, laying out a specific definition of what constitutes a security. Those justices couldn't have guessed how complex digital commerce over encrypted lines of computer code would fit in almost a century later. This goes beyond anything the 1933 Securities Act, the 1934 Securities Act as well. I'm just going to add that one myself. And over 250 federal, appellate, and Supreme Court decisions about securities laws ever imagined. The SEC under Gary has its own idea of how crypto should be regulated today, but bears little resemblance to that decision, and it's straying into dangerous legal territory in court. I'm all for clear rules and regulations to protect people. I don't think anyone here is against that. But the SEC is exploiting legal uncertainty about crypto to radically redefine what constitutes an investment contract and a common enterprise in the U.S., which leads me to a video that we posted on our Twitter April 19th. This is from the House Financial Services Oversight Committee. This is Byron Donalds, representative from the state of New York. Okay, listen to what he says to Gary, and his rebuttal to Gary's always saying, well, the laws have always been there. They've been clear. Here's what he had to say, just in case you forgot, and then we'll discuss.
I'm going to reclaim my time and move on to something else. You said earlier in another line of questioning that the players in the digital asset space don't have a choice, that they have to comply with the rules. But once again, Congress has never given you a framework for regulating digital assets. Where are you pulling that one from?
With all respect, sir, we disagree on this.
Oh, I can see we disagree a lot, Chairman, because we're not giving you authority. You're just taking it. I think that's part of the issue right now.
With all respect, Congress painted with a broad brush when they set up the SEC, and I quote Thurgood Marshall, which is one of the greatest.
Congress painted with a broad brush in 1933 and 1934, not in 2023. We've not touched that. It's a new industry. One last quick.
And by the way,
Your boy dropped a hammer over here, bro. You heard that?
I was wrong. He is from Florida,
Right.
not New York. I apologize. But Robin and I have had this conversation 7,344 times, and don't ask why I know that exact number. But I want to ask our guests in studio, right? Is it fair for the SEC to try to fit for better lack of terms, a square peg into a round hole? Right? You get my analogy I'm trying to make.
I don't even want to think about Gary Gensler pegging.
I agree. Let's not think about that. Bad thoughts are coming to mind.
I do.
He said I do.
Personally.
I'm in it.
Subscribe now.
I'm starting to think on the flights to Vegas, they like pump the cabins with some sort of something, some happy gas or something. Okay, seriously though, we're seeing what Gary Gensler continuously says. He likes to quote old people, or not old people, like old SEC chairs and macroeconomics. And Thurgood Marshall said this, and this guy said this, and Congress painted with a broad brush. Yeah, and 200 years ago, we had horse and buggy. You want to do the same laws and regulations for horse and buggy as we do for cars? They're a form of transportation. So is it fair? Well, I know the answer to that is going to be no. But do you guys, is it to the benefit of everyone, investors, crypto, even lawmakers, to have maybe a separate branch like the SEC that just oversees digital assets? Because you can look at it and argue, well, okay, when they did their ICO, kind of like a security. But now they're decentralized. They're not a security. So it's not a clean-cut blanket thing where you can say, okay, it's a security, or okay, it's this. Do you guys have a solution in mind? If you were sitting in front of the House Financial Services Oversight Committee and they ask you, what would be your solution? What would you say? I'll ask you first, Jake.
So in the UK, they've presented MiCA, which provides a sandbox period for the regulation and somebody to come into the market as a security and then over time become decentralized and move away from that. So I'm hopeful that the U.S. will adopt something similar to that. I do want to point out, though, in that same hearing, Gary was reminded that he was the CFO of the Clintons during.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, play that clip for me.
Jake, yep. It's in this exact clip. Rocco, cue my laptop.
Question. I think it might have came up. You were Hillary Clinton's CFO in the campaign, right?
It's part of my history.
Were you? Yes or no?
In 2016.
Did you facilitate the payment for the Steele dossier since you were CFO of the Hillary Clinton campaign?
Sir.
Yes or no?
Sir.
Yes or no?
That was not.
You're under oath, Chairman Gensler. Yes or
I
no?
know. It was not something I was aware of.
I yield back.
Guys.
Okay. So
Go ahead, Jake.
That's my point here is
I'm gonna reclaim my time and move
sorry,
on
my
to something else.
You
said
Funny thing is, that was the last question.
Very
Right.
last question of the entire
you leave it
hearing.
right. So maybe they went to Gary and they said, "Hey, look, we got you. We need you to burn down the SEC, and we need you to cause a lot of friction and problems over there so that we can reorchestrate."
You putting a tinfoil hat on here?
I'm put. Yeah,
Okay, we
yeah.
like tinfoil hats.
Yeah,
I do, at
so
least.
speculation. But maybe they struck a deal with him. They said, "Hey, look, we need you to play this role and come in and basically make the SEC look horrible. And then we're gonna change the SEC. We're gonna move in all these new regulations, and maybe what comes along with that is regulation around crypto."
Taking that perspective too, and I mean comparing any of the videos that you can see from when Chair Gensler was speaking at MIT, his perspective is completely different now, based on everything that he had mentioned before. So it does lean to the fact that it's very incongruent for him to be going after the industry this way when just a few years ago he had a very different position.
Literally.
I don't think that.
teaching.
Yeah, I don't think that it's something that you just bumped your head and suddenly changed your opinion about an entire vertical. So
Yeah, you
Maybe
said
you bumped your wallet into something that put more money in there.
when you said 75% of these should be considered commodities during his time at MIT. So anyway, yeah, just complete speculation on my part, but
Jake,
it's
you brought a lot of
interesting.
intriguing. You got my wheels turning here, my friend. These wheels, when they turn, they start turning really fast.
Been stuck in the mud for a while, so I'm glad they broke them loose.
Yeah, I smell smoke.
That was a no look, by the way.
That was also a highlight from the Lakers game.
Wow. Wow. Rocco, will you see this man out of the studio, please? Come in here, throw shade at my Lakers.
And real quick, gentlemen, ladies, hit that like button. We are
Did you just assume everyone's gender?
I thought you said ladies and gentlemen.
pronouns. Hit the like button. Help us get to 150 likes. Thank you.
Did you leave out transgender?
This guy said pronouns. Wow.
For all the
Guys,
days
it's
in
been a great year and a half. I'm not sure we're going to liquidate all our studio equipment here. It's probably Google's going to shut us down. Man.
Your new host is Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, exactly. Jenna, what? Same question. I know we kind of went off the highway here a little
Yeah,
bit.
sorry about that.
No, you're good. No, this is a great conversation. Like, I love this. This is a great conversation. Jenna, what? Like, if you're sitting in front of Patrick McHenry and he says, "Okay, Miss Jenna X, what is your solution to regulating crypto assets? Is it creating a whole new branch of the SEC? Is it creating an oversight committee? What is it?"
I mean, I think they definitely should have like an oversight committee. I think that the SEC is really, I'm with you guys on that. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know if they're coming or going. And the CFTC doesn't know. Like, they're all fighting over, and it's kind of like a dick swinging contest, in my opinion, of what's going on. But I think the biggest thing is we need these guidelines about how a raise should be performed. That's really, really important. And, does the use case need to be built out before your token's actually launched? I mean, we do need these clear-cut guidelines. So, I don't know.
I think the overall issue here is that you have different regulatory agencies that are fighting over who's going to regulate. The SEC just has the most money and the biggest staff. So I think that's why they've stepped up and filled the role that they have. But until we get some clear language from Congress in the form of a law or a bill, it's gonna be a free for all, because then it's up to the judgment of each department. And so if the CFTC wants to throw their hat in the ring, try to make some money, because essentially when they regulate something, that's what they're doing, right? They're making money. It costs I think it's like $4 or $5 million just to get started, to get your company as a publicly traded company. And it can skyrocket way past that as well. But I think the minimum is you got to come out of pocket like $4 or $5 million just to become a publicly traded company.
And then just have the SEC come after you 5 years later. It's like,
Right.
hold up, wait a minute.
Yeah. So with that said, I mean, at the end of the day, it is a business, and they are generating revenue, and you're just gonna always have this situation until Congress comes up and says, look, this is what makes a digital asset, these properties, a commodity, security, whatever it is. Or maybe we just put a whole new framework in. Perhaps instead of it being a security or commodity, maybe let's just say, hey,
It's a commodity.
We're gonna create a framework for a digital asset. There are countries that are working on making frameworks for digital assets, and where you say, hey, this is not a commodity, this is not a security, but it's something different. And in that sense, I think digital asset, I don't know. But either way, if we keep the direction we're going, nothing is going to change, and we're going to keep spinning the wheels here. So,
To the tinfoil hat scenarios, do you feel that when regulation does come out, Congress introduces this, that it's going to affect utility tokens separately from your meme coins? Do you think this is going to hurt?
Kind of like what the EU did.
I think that they're going to work in the investor protection.
Should it though, Rob?
I feel like
Should
the
it?
Pepe Act of 2024.
Yeah, so what I think they're going to do is they're going to look out for the investor protection. So what do I mean by saying that? I think that projects that are clearly, in our eyes, decentralized, or at least they have expanded into multiple forms of utility, and you can just simply say that, hey, this offers more than just simply buying and speculating. And I think that there needs to be certain criteria that you reach, because perhaps you can look at Dogecoin, for example. At this point, I think Dogecoin is pretty decentralized, and at its inception, it was not. Same thing could be said with Bitcoin. And so I think once you reach certain parameters, I think it just needs to be clearly defined. Perhaps so many of the tokens not held by the founders, perhaps some kind of criteria on utility. I just think there just needs to be some kind of clear language that says, and then not to mention, if you were to get clear language, then you have a roadmap that projects can work towards. And so they can say, hey, you know what? We're not going to be able to be listed in America because we'll be deemed a security. So we need to roll this roadmap out. And this is something that we're going to bring out within the next 12 months, for example. And then once we reach that criteria, then we know we can properly list in the US. And this, and until something like that happens, it's cloudy and uncertain. And I think what they do need to do is sit down with people that are in our industry and ask them questions, because the people that have testified have been Kevin O'Leary. There's been several actors, and it just
yeah,
dude, it's comical. Like, I don't understand why we don't have the founders of different projects.
Why isn't Charles on there? Why isn't Vitalik up there?
Well, then it's a conflict of interest, though, right? Because then they're going to say, well, they're biased.
I'm not saying that they're the ones that are writing the laws, but I think that they should be the ones that are sitting in Congress and answering questions. Because who have we had in the past? We had Sam Bankman-Fried. We've had.
Did they have an actor?
Yeah, they had the actor. That's what I was saying. You had Kevin O'Leary, and now
they have that teacher, Hillary Allen.
Now Charles has testified once, but what I'm saying is that I think there needs to be more open dialogue with people in the community so that way we can put together the proper framework and not just have people that have no experience in crypto trying to lay out the framework and say, this is what makes it decentralized, this is what makes it centralized, this is what makes it a security, this is what makes it a commodity, and they never purchased or acquired any crypto in their entire life. That would make no sense. It would, the chances of them getting it right is almost 0%, right? And so I think more open dialogue with people in our space. Let's get this on paper. And then the Cynthia Lummis bill is pretty comprehensive in doing exactly what we're saying. They define what a broker is. I know that was a topic of conversation.
That was a huge topic
They have addressed the fact that Ethereum is clearly a commodity, as well as stable coins and certain other projects. And I think they're laying the groundwork. I think that we're going to have multiple laws that are going to be passed that provide clarity. But I do think that, man, if we can get this XRP Ripple Labs lawsuit to be a favorable resolution, just be over, I think at that point, that's when things really start progressing.
Here's an action item for a lot of people too that I think a lot of people don't take the initiative on, is that from a state level, there's a lot of state legislation that can drive federal legislation, because you see state issues come in, they introduce a bill, federal legislators start paying attention to those things. And so, like in Arkansas, Governor Sanders just signed in the Arkansas Right to Mine Act, which is a cool deal for Arkansas, right? So North Carolina passed their legislation against the CBDC. So you see states taking action in the space right now. And there's a lot of people probably just here in the chat right now that have great information they could pass on to their local legislator. So go talk to your state senator, go talk to your state representative, and inform them and have the conversation. And if you have an idea for a bill, present it, because I guarantee you they're interested in it. They just may not have the information or know where to go. So if you form a relationship with your local elected officials and do that, that can have, no pun intended, it can have a ripple at a large scale nationally when you start seeing some of these things take place in national.
And there are some links on Coinbase's website that provide contact information on the local representatives for your state. Also, which ones tend to be more pro and against crypto on there as well. So then I would recommend reaching out to the people that are the most pro in crypto. And then maybe even ones that are extremely against, and perhaps penning a letter that simply expresses the benefits that you could get from embracing crypto. And
that was the first thing that came to my mind, Max, and I'm happy you brought that up. Is we're seeing Wyoming and Florida and Texas and Arkansas and all in North Carolina. We're seeing them start adopting, and I think a lot of it more is the right to mine. But what if they start adopting others as well? Like if we all of a sudden have 25 states that have the same rules essentially for Bitcoin mining or for what's a secure, whatever. Can that get adopted on a federal level?
I would be hesitant, though.
I'm not into
look no
politics, so-
further than marijuana because, I mean,
That's a
it's
good
like
point.
20 states out
That's
here
a good
legalize it, and yet the federal government is still dragging its feet. But
How is weed still illegal and drinking booze?
And by the way, for those of you visiting Las Vegas, we have the world's largest dispensary here as well. So go check that out.
what is it called, bro?
Area 15, Area 50.
Planet 13.
Planet
Planet
13.
13.
There
Where
you
is
go.
Area 15,
It's
though?
like the Walmart of weed. It's amazing.
Guys, here's
I
the
think
important
PCP
thing.
is legal in California now.
I'm gonna give you the keys to Vegas here.
Mushroom.
First, you go to Planet 13, then you go to Area 15. If you see what I'm saying, do not go to Area 15 before visiting Planet 13. I'm not kidding. I went to Area 15 with my wife and 3 kids. I went there without going to Planet 13 first, and it was not a good experience. So, anyways,
On the 15 deal, I want to mention. So I kind of have a framework around what decentralized is. I'd just like to share it. So
Yeah, please.
I think that if a network has transactions that are done by the validators or nodes on the network, where one of them contributes more than 15% of the network verification, then that's not decentralized. So when I work with business owners to increase their multiple prior to exit, one of the things I specialize in is diversifying their vendors, their customers, and their employees, so that no one choke point controls more than 15% of the revenue for the business. And so if that's the case, then that's decentralized to me. If you lost that one person, not that big a deal. You're 85%. Whereas if somebody makes up 30 or 40% of your business, like that's a big loss if somebody acquires it. So that's just taking my experience in another space and applying it to this one. I think that that 15% rule would be great for a decentralized network.
See, decentralized to me, if I can jump in on that,
of course.
like, so I don't know if you've heard of Zen, but what Jack Levin is creating with that, where everyone can mint their own and they just pay gas fees. And I know that's why everyone's bitching because their gas fees are super high, but it's
That's
free
what
to
it
mint.
is.
It's Zen. That's
it's
what
Zen.
it is. But it gives everyone, it levels the opportunity. There's no whales. It's early adopters and delayed gratification. And you can batch mint and claim it like in a year or 2 years, but it's not like giving anyone, an uneven playing field. So it really levels it out. So I like what they're doing with that. But that's not going to be deemed as security. It can't be.
so
Great point.
Zen is what's keeping me from taking profits on Pepe.
Yes.
Thanks, Zen.
You don't have any profits to take. It's down 30%.
You shut your mouth. Jenna, our friend Jimmy, he wants to know. We need you're sitting next to me. You can see my hand is in her camera. My desk. Jimmy hates my desk. He said it's terrible. What are your thoughts on the desk? And you can be honest, please.
It doesn't go with the rest of the studio.
And in case you are new here or a new member, we do have a desk emoji. So put the desk emoji in the chat. Thank you.
But if you like it, that's all that matters.
No, because of the resounding vote is no one likes it.
I mean, how are you going to have that
That's
couch?
what I'm going to be spending $1,000 on this weekend. Sorry, kids, no movies this weekend.
Drop a
Guys, you
super
gotta buy a
chat.
desk.
Drop a super chat to donate to the desk fund.
They did do a desk fund. He'll do it. Doing desk funds for months, dude. We bought tacos with it instead.
What if we just wrap that thing,
That might not be a bad idea. I think that was Rocco's idea.
I think
Wrap
think you can-
Pepe, Peppuccino.
I think you can get on
Pepe.
Alibaba and get like a Lamborghini Huracan desk, like the rear of it or something. You can,
Robin, didn't you show that one time, Robin? That was hella funny.
What was it?
The Lamborghini desk, or it was a something desk. That was pretty funny. Oh man,
So funny.
guys! Before we move on, or before we end, I want to give one more quick shout out to our channel sponsor, Cam's Blue Wire Tech. Today's show and the show every week this week has been brought to you by our first ever sponsor. We're excited, man. So go check out, if you want more information, what they do and how they can help you and your business, go to bluewiretech.com or visit their, just click the link in the description of this video. Yeah. Now, guys.
What about this right here?
It's like the same desk.
I think it's the same one.
It doesn't match either.
And why does he look like he's
There's
sitting
a
down?
couch or a couch there next to it.
Why does he look like he's sitting down? Oh, man.
Empty
Guys.
chair next to him as well.
We need to get a photo of you behind you like that.
Yeah. A lot of photos that need to be taken.
Man.
Guys, we're done. we're done. Before we sign off, I want to give the floor to each one of our guests. Maybe tell people where they can find you if they want more of your content, your information. And we'll start to my right and we'll work our way counterclockwise. So, Miss Jenna X, please take the floor.
First of all, thank you both so much for having me and, of course, XRP Army on today. Such an honor to be here. Guys, I was saying this is like a field trip. I got to come in, check the studio out. It's like I'm like a kid in a candy store. So thank you so much. And you can catch me on Jenna X on YouTube and Jenna X Crypto on Twitter.
Jenna, it's our absolute pleasure. Thank you. But one issue we had, we never got the signed slip from your parents to let you go on the field trip. So we're definitely going to have to need that. Also, I do want to note, last time you were on our show, you look like you hadn't been out in the sun. Looks like you spent your day at the pool this morning, so it looks good.
Twitter lighting.
I'm just kidding. All jokes aside, it's been a pleasure having you. Thank you so much. Gonzo, please.
Yeah, so it's super excited to meet you guys in person. You can find, I'm part of the Good Morning Crypto Show. You can find us at 3T Warrior Academy channel on YouTube. And then I think I have my own Twitter, Gonzo _3T. So
did you say I think I have my own Twitter?
Yeah.
Pretty sure you do
I'm pretty sure I have my own Twitter. Sorry,
Yeah.
yeah. Sometimes, when you get nervous, you just say crazy
Might have got
shit.
compromised.
So,
It's okay.
well, it's because we have the Good Morning Crypto Twitter, right? So
Yeah.
I have my own Twitter, and then we have the Good Morning. That's why I
just
said
kidding,
that.
man. Gonzo, it was
So-
great to meet you in person, man.
Yeah,
Thank
it was
you so
nice.
much for joining us. Jake, what about you, my friend?
So, a few places on most social media platforms: YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. All is Beyond Broke. That's an affiliation with our mastermind. Me and Max are the leaders of that group. So, if you want to check that out, we do private investment there, education around finance and private investment. And then also, if you do have a digital asset liquidity event that you need help with, or if you want to be proactive in making sure that you don't deal with a bunch of taxes when that happens, you can reach out to me at digitalfamilyoffice.io.
Cool, man. I hate paying taxes, so
I hope you.
you're a good man.
If my Twitter and Instagram, everything's at Real Max Avery. It's really just me making snide comments, though. So unless you just want to be insulted randomly, then don't follow me, because that's basically all that happens.
I love being insulted.
Yeah.
I know Jake and Max, I know you guys are business partners, but do you guys work out together, man? You guys are both like freaking like giants over
So
here.
he did bodybuilding. I did powerlifting because I'd like to eat a lot.
Who can
And
power
so-
clean more?
I mean, I never really got into power cleaning that much.
Okay.
But I had a pretty solid deadlift for a while, and then I got a massive hernia when I was getting in prep for Arnold Classic Australia. So shout out to Pro Raw Powerlifting in Australia. Sorry I couldn't make it like 5 years ago, but that was the end game. So
Well, now you got the answer to the question that the company was probably looking for.
And then also we do have a few new people just to give a farewell to that are new here in the chat. And we have Crypto John Brazil, Super Smoked, Age of Jeremy, G4 Life, Black Knight, and Coochie Boy. To all of you, adios.
Hola, Dios. To all of our guests in studio, it's been an absolute pleasure having you guys on here. Thank you so much. Enjoy the XRP Las Vegas 2023. If you're going to be there, look out for us. Look out for some of our guests there. You might have a nice conversation. With that being said, check out all of our social medias. We are on Twitter at Sin City Crypto 1. Check out our Instagram, our TikTok. Check out all the other things that you'd like to check out if you want to support the channel. There's tons of ways. Click all the links in the description of this video. With that being said, Rocco. Oh, you guys get to see the finger tornado in studio.
Wait, a finger tornado?
Finger tornado. Rocco! Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It's been an amazing week. It's been an amazing way to end the week. Thank you to all of our guests. Thank you to all of you watching. Have an absolutely amazing weekend. Come back for Robin's Rant and Ramble on Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you don't want to do that because you had too much Robin, come back Monday, 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for our daily live show. On behalf of all of us here at Sin City Crypto in the studio, we love you guys. Until then, peace.